Today we're talking microbrands.
You ask questions and I answer.
Kind of like Gary Vee, but like for watches.
Boom, Watch Fam! What is up, Watch Fam? Welcome to episode 30 of ASKTNH. I am still in the backseat of a car, and 30 is a milestone. Just to remind you guys, follow us on Snapchat, you dirty motherfuckers. I will roll into the questions now. Let's roll into the question.
What makes the perfect microbrand?
That's a great question. There are a ton of microbrands out there. I'm not going to go into like in-depth reviews of each one. I think that's meaningless. And plus it'll make for like a 60-minute episode of ASKTNH, which I wouldn't want to watch. So what makes the perfect microbrand? For me, off the cuff, I would have to go with, I would go design, but foremost, it's carefulness, right? It's spending time on something, right? I think then I'll go deeper, but it's the clear understanding from the public that you actually spent time on something, right? And then a byproduct of that would be, a design, right? Something that's not just, like a Daniel Wellington. There's no carefulness there. That's just a white dial, a case, and hands. There's no carefulness. So I think that makes for a really shitty microbrand. I think that Michael Kors also, it's a brand. It's not a microbrand, I understand. But their watches, if they were a microbrand, would make for a shitty microbrand. They just steal from Rolex. So, and Cartier for that matter. So I think that it's carefulness, which kind of yields great design. I think that it's price. It's hard because there are plenty of microbrand independents, I suppose. They're not microbrands, but for a small company, I really think that because you have no market leverage, because you're not in the limelight, you really need to give that value prop variable. I don't want to talk about you if you're not really bringing value in, whereas I'm always going to talk about Rolex, right? It's just a thing. So for a microbrand, I think you really need to fall into a super, super competitive bracket. And if that means you're making close to no money for 3-4 years, then that's how that is. Like, get over it. Why do you think that you're so, entitled to make a great profit the first 3 years of your little shitty business? Build market equity, own my attention, and then, later you can cash in a little bit and charge me a little more. But until then, fuck you. So I'm talking about like $800. I mean, 800 to 2,000, depending on what you're really doing. But really, though it's very invasive, small margins. These people really don't need to be worried about making money as of now. They need to be worried about staying alive, but definitely not making money. It's not the line of work they're in yet. I guess next would be movement, right? I don't think that a microbrand needs to produce a crazy good movement. I think that an ETA movement would be just fine. I think that a Seiko movement is just fine. But they need to be honest about that. I think that would probably be the final thing, that honesty. Don't lie to me. You're not cool enough to lie to me. You're not cool enough to make up this kind of imaginary story about where you were founded, and just lie. I don't need to get more poetic than that. Just lie. A ton of them are lying, and it just bothers me. You're not cool enough yet. You're not James Dean. If James Dean told me to smoke cigarettes because it's cool, I might smoke cigarettes because he's James Dean. But you're nobody. So get over it. A competitive price, a great design, really carefulness throughout the entire process. Packaging really doesn't get me going. I don't wear packaging. Packaging is very short-lived, and thus I don't really give a shit. People disagree, and they're open to disagree. That's basically it. Right? That's it. I'm done. Microbrands. Find a good one and send it my way. I'll do a review. Guys, for watching episode 30 of ASKTNH. I really enjoyed this question and kind of my answer. I had a good answer to a good question. I like how that worked out. Ask some more invasive questions. Ask some more kind of, intellectual questions. Not just reviews of things, but more stuff about what could be as opposed to what already is. All right? See you guys soon.